I'm so glad you're here and cheers to you as we talk about how do you make money doing concept only design or what I also call e-design. What are you going to learn? Well, we are going to talk about the benefits and uses. This is, it's not as new anymore, but a lot of people still don't really know how we use e-design, how do we do concept only mood board presentations, how to package those services, and how to really make thousands off of a single room design plan. And what I like to say is stop trading time for dollars. How many of you on this chat are designers or stagers and you're really tired of just getting paid according to your time? Anyone? You go ahead and put in that chat me if that's you. I'm going to show you how to build the board, some best practices, some technology choices, some pros and cons of each, mistakes some designers make, how to market this service. We have a lot to go over. And in the meantime, I'm also going to go over lots of example stories and show you mood boards to inspire you. So, who is this webinar for? Because a lot of people think, well, I don't know if this is a fit for me. If you're just curious about e-design and mood boards, this is for you. If you have an eye for design and you're thinking about maybe starting a design business or dipping your toe, this is for you. If you are a designer and you're home stager and you want to add design easily, really easily with very little liability, this is for you. If you're a lifestyle blogger looking to monetize your blog, e-design really helps with that. And if you love to shop, you're going to love this too, or remodeling your own home. If you want time flexibility, a low overhead business from home that fits your passion, this one is for you. So if that's you, go ahead in the chat and put me. Let's make sure you're all in the right place. If you just love to look at mood boards like this or this, you're in the right place. And by the way, every mood board that I show you, because when I talk about, oops, I didn't put start there. Oop, I just started session. Great. When I talk about mood boards and technology, every board I'm showing you is actually inside the training. So when somebody joins my Expert Design training that I'm going to tell you a little bit about, they get all these templates inside their design files uh, program. So I always like to say that when people go, "How did you do that? And where do I get that?" Well, it's all inside my training. All right. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Audra Slinky. Nice to know you. I started the Home Staging Resource, a mixed media kind of staging, online staging and design training back in 2006. This month, I am celebrating 20 years in the staging industry. So huge. I've been around for a while. I've won lots of awards I'm very proud of. I've shared the stage with people like Vern Yip, Sabrina Soto, Barbara Corcoran, speaking on the benefits of staging, design, e-design, color, and vacation rental design. Those are kind of my courses. Basically, I like to teach people who have a passion for design, who've been redesigning their rooms since they were kids, how to show them how to make money doing what they love, kind of putting them in their sweet spot. Thanks, you guys. So, if any of you guys on this line have taken any of my courses, you know I get nervous every time I do one of these live events. Would love a shout out in the chat. Thanks. So, what is e design? I like to say that e-design is really using technology to allow a designer or stager to provide inspiration, expert product sourcing, and design expertise in a detailed room plan with product links at a fraction of the cost of full service design. So the client actually gets to see it before they commit. It really kind of shows the full presentation. It is not virtual staging. In the beginning, everyone thought, is this virtual staging? No, it is not virtual staging. That is a completely different beast. Why e-design? Why is this important? Well, it really stepped in to the limelight during COVID. I'm going back ways, but during COVID, all my designers and stagers were like, okay, let me start doing e-design because they weren't going to homes. But honestly, now it's very mainstream. How many of you on this chat use a technology called design files to create mood boards and presentations for your clients if you're in it? And if you don't, no pressure. I'm always just curious. Great. This is Design Files, the technology. This is how we create our mood boards. I'm going to go over different technologies and tell you why we used it. But you can see that it's very visual. You can work off an inspiration room and find all the product that goes with it. And then you can also pass along the details of each product. You can even have the direct links for your clients to shop it. So it's also very practical as a service. One of the things that a lot of my designers say, and in fact, I have a story I'm going to be sharing in my blog tomorrow about one of my designers who did a design presentation. It really builds trust. Your client can actually see your vision. They can get on board with what you're feeling because you're showing them that. So the trust is built, and you can see even from all these mood boards. Here's a beautiful dining room. You're really seeing what you get. Here's an example. I love this one of my friend Mitch and Louise, clients of mine, where he actually puts the board kind of similar to this before the client kind of signs off, and he does then the full install in the home. And you can see from the board to the room, it's not they're not too far apart. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, the client's kind of seeing what it's going to look like, basic pieces. What I really love about it from a business standpoint is it's kind of a zero overhead business model. You're paying really for the software. Um, it's a zero liability model. If you're just paying for the software, if you're just doing concept only design plans, basically, here's my expertise. We're working on the concept, shop it yourself. If you keep it very simple, which is how sometimes people dip their toe in it, it's a zero liability, zero overhead. It kind of puts the designers in their sweet spot. And you have this market growth model. It's not location defined. You have this expanded clientele. And in fact, the case study I'm going to share tomorrow, and I've shared others, is from one of my clients who she lives in Georgia, and she did an Airbnb design job based on using this technology, doing a presentation in Florida. So it's definitely not uh, you're not defined to one location. And let's be honest, online design is very hot. It starts the conversation, and for most of my designers, it springboards to bigger projects because it's usually room by room. What I also love about the technology, and here I am in the technology, is it controls the conversation. How many of you are stagers and designers and you're tired of getting late night texts from your clients? Anyone? Go ahead and put me, whatever. Or you just constantly are getting bombarded and you're going this direction, this direction. Yeah, it definitely helps to kind of taper that up and control it if that's the way you decide to do it. It gives you time and location flexibility. I love this. Can I work at midnight? Some of you I know are night owls and you love that idea. It hedges your business. From a staging standpoint, it's very easy to upsell design, a design room plan. It can be a simplified business model, or it can open up if you're doing full service design into full presentation, full service design. It's really as big as you want to take it. It's budget friendly. It's ultimately, like I said, it's technology making life easier, passing along your vision, and automating your processes. And what I'm going to walk you through in this presentation is how you can actually do a design plan and make thousands of dollars on one design plan. Uh, and of course, I'm sharing design plans all along the way for you. So many designers are transitioning, and tell me if this is you, that you want to kind of transition to get out of that kind of hourly paid for your time rate. They're transitioning into a packaged business model for simplicity, and doing package design, concept board design kind of allows them to do that. Also allows you to kind of shorten the client lifespan if the client is shopping direct. It actually can simplify the entire design process. And let's be honest, I love this statistic. This is the growth, the e-commerce as a percentage of retail sales growth through the years. And look where we're at. Here we are, 2026, and it is literally quadrupled since 2011. And no surprise, how many of you buy mostly stuff online? Anyone? We're not necessarily walking into our brick and mortar furniture stores and decor stores all the time anymore. So it's very, very common, and people are getting more used of that. And trust me, in the beginning, when I started this training program, and people were like, "Oh, but what if it's online and you won't like it?" Well, I buy stuff on Amazon every day. So I think most of you guys are the same. And for those of you who are wondering, I love design, how do I dip my toe into design? E-design is probably the perfect way to do that. Allows you to kind of dip your toe by helping them do concept boards. And it's actually the perfect complement to vacation rental design because it allows you to showcase your design talent for various industries like that one. So that's why I have kind of a courses in both. Here is an example board that's in our 100 plus templates where we talk about this is our favorite simple, sturdy, affordable Airbnb decor. The easy stuff, very inexpensive, very easy that can just client can just shop themselves. And we actually have a couple of these inside the training. This is story of House of Moxie, one of my clients. I love it. She said, as a kid, my room was essentially a mood board. This is her About Us page on her website. Look how cute their family is. But she took my e-design course first. Then she actually took my staging course. My staging course is kind of my big daddy. It kind of walks you through how to the whole foundation of starting a strong staging and design business. But she actually dipped her toe in, did the e-design course. She said, "Oh my gosh, I love design files. That's the technology we use to create those boards." Creating those boards, giving my clients the visual. She said, "This was a short-term rental stage design job." She never even met the owner in person. She worked virtually, just like I show people to do in the training, but you can do it using design files. She created the e-design boards, the client approved them. She shopped and even styled for the place came out beautiful right on the beach. And you can see this was kind of her quick design board that she actually could have easily pulled from. This was one of our design boards in our template. So she can took this template and then she was able to go back, kind of build inspiration from that, create the design board for the client. Now this is a different design room. You can tell that's off of that board template that one of my other designers created. But here is one of her, this was her before, and this is her after. So you can see it kind of helps, gives the client vision. It's really the perfect consultation based business model for the stager and designer who wants to kind of broaden and upsell their services without expanding their expenses. Anywhere, anytime, really to organize your ideas. So let's talk about how you would, if you're just getting started, how you would price this. Now, the design files technology actually lets you kind of, you don't really even need a website, which I kind of like about it. Once you use the design files technology, it actually has the pricing that you can build. This is an example of like the price packages you can build. It does the payment. It actually has the onboarding. It actually could be your entire just little, for friends and family, if you're just getting started, hey, I can do your concept boards in a box. And I recommend if you're just getting started, you keep it inexpensive. Do like a design starter that consists of like a call. I'm going to give you an inspiration concept board based on our conversation. We're going to rework a final room design, and there you go. And then or design premium where we're going to have a couple revisions, a conversation with a final room design. So basically stair step packaging, which I am a huge believer in, and in all my trainings, you kind of stair step your pricing so you fit all budgets. What do people get in package one? A lot of times you're just starting the room conversation with the client. No revisions, shopping links, advice. There you go. It's the cheapest form of design. And in package two, they're kind of starting to believe you. Like, okay, I like this. Okay, I want to have a conversation about this. A couple boards, a couple ideas, and away we go. You're building more of that relationship. How many of you in this chat actually do design boards for your clients or concept boards? Go ahead and put me. I'm just curious. And when I say package three, honestly, and I should preface, those are starter pricing. I mean, I have clients like some of my high-end designers, they're starting at $1,000 board because they have an extended clientele. My sister, who is a designer in Santa Cruz, she does high level, each board is quite a bit more because she has that reputation. She's not just getting started in the industry. But the thing is you can package it any way you want. You can do more rooms. You can add wholesale product, which is what I'm going to show you how to do with another technology. You can do floor plans. You can do 2D and 3D. You can even do the white glove installation. Uh, Springboard to full service design. It's just getting that conversation started. So, financially doing the math, if you're the kind of person, because I know a big portion of you were people who were just looking into the industry. If you were to just do a few starter designs and a couple premium designs a week, you'd be making 1,600 per week or 79,000 a year for about 9 hours of putting together the boards per week with only retail product and retail links. You're not doing installation. You're just here you go. to the client. So that's why I like to show kind of math for people. Um, but how many of you were thinking, wait a minute, Audra, how can I create an entire board with all the shopping links for only $199? Did any of you think that way? Like, how would I do that? That seems like not a lot of money to create an entire board from scratch. Well, I remember thinking the same thing. So I was just like you. I was in a webinar like 6 years ago, 7 years ago from this e-designer girl, and she was showing us how she does e-design and how much her clients love it. It's very visual. And she had within her projects like tons of projects. She had like 50 different projects. And she said she's gotten so good at it. A lot of times when she talks to a client, she could just go to a past project, copy it as a new project, swap out a few pieces, and away she goes. Because the truth is, when you sign up for design files, this is what your account looks like. Do you see it? It's blank. It's blank. You don't have any projects. Not like the webinar that I was in and that e-designer who she had been over the years populating it with her own designs so that she could save time and pull from an old one and add it to a new one. And that got me to thinking. I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could partner with this incredible technology and I could start populating it? I had a team of really talented designers and start populating it with these design plans listed by room, by type, by style, so that when somebody signed up for my course, they would get all my templates. So they're never looking at a blank piece of paper. And so for we started doing that. We started populating it. I partnered with design files and we created a situation where you could just do a search for, let's say, transitional, pull up the transitional board, you could see the budget, and then you could either start this project from scratch or add it to an existing project if a client signed in so that you could get, you know, the project instantly and easily. So we started creating all these boards, tons of living room boards, started putting them into the account of all different styles. See this kind of, you can see what they look like: Scandinavian, mid-century, eclectic, over 60 living room, family room boards. And then we expanded from there and we started doing bedrooms because how many of you do design bedrooms on the regular? I'm curious. Go ahead and put me in the chat. And then we did dining rooms because I know some of you do dining rooms. And we started pulling these gorgeous dining room inspiration photos and then finding all the product that matches it. And then we even did offices and even baby nurseries. And we started populating this account with all of these cool templates so that when people have design files, they can always pull from a past project and get inspiration instantly and simply swap out a couple of the projects so that they can easily save time working with their clients. So that when somebody signs up for my training, they get this separate little tab here. Can you see that says HSR templates? So now when they can their account is blank, but they can click on the HSR template tab and then it's no longer blank. They have then those 100 plus templates that they can search and choose from. So I created a course around it to walk people through how exactly to do this. And of course, I've expanded the course. I'm going to show you after I tell you a little bit about the course, how I then walk people through how you add trade product that can be delivered white glove to your client's house and you're making money on everything they buy. So I'm going to show you that in a second, but I'm telling you a little bit here about the course. So I created an entire course so that anyone getting started or wanting to dip your toe into design can easily do it. And I created a process that's very automated about listening, how to create projects, best practices, how to work with the technology, pricing, process, marketing. To get to your question, Jeannie, are the templates kept fresh? The great thing about templates is the internet is always moving, right? We can put in a product that we found at Paragold, let's say, and let's say the product changes, it's no longer there. The good news is you see the link and you know, okay, they got this product at Paragold. I can source out something very similar and just swap it out. So of course, I recommend you never just take the project and boom to the client for for $200. You actually check those links and you know where we found them and you find similar items, but we actually do go through the links once a year and update them. So it's a great question. Yes, yes, design right, Sarah. So you're basically paying around $7 a board that you can turn around and sell at the base point for 199, the retail boards. So we have 100 retail product boards in there, and then we started adding now trade product boards as well. So the training, you get the design file. People go, well, what's design files? How does it work with your training? Well, when you sign up for the training, you actually get a special link to join Design Files at a discount, actually at a 5-month discount if you've never been a client of Design Files, where you get it. That's $29 a month, and then you'll get all the boards in your account. So if you're already using Design Files, but you've never taken this course, it's so worth it because you're going to get 100 plus boards. If you're already using it, you sign up for the course, you just email us, we let them know, and then we'll load your account with all of the templates that we have. Just so you know, because people always ask that. And this is a growing account. So the people that signed up back in 2018 for this still get every new board in their Design Files account as it grows. I just don't believe in reinventing. So it's a huge time saver. In the training, I walk you through how to automate your marketing. We give you kind of helping clients with their budget. We give you the email, copy and paste emails. And we walk you through, oh, here's some of the copy and paste emails. We give you Canva templates for the buttons, for your headers, for everything, because design is so much easier when you have an inspirational starting point. There's really nothing new under the sun. Why not find that first? And this I should mention, this training won the Most Innovative Product of the Year award in 2022. Uh, Good questions you guys have. I will get to. Somebody said, is it part of the HSR? No, the 3-week staging training is for staging and design training. The e-design training is where you're getting all the templates. Good question. Someone said they're looking for creating rooms for realtors to showcase the house without actually putting furniture in the house. That's called, Kimberly, that's virtual staging. That is a lot of technical work. I recommend actually outsourcing that to professional, like people in India who will do that for you. And there's some technologies that will. You're just filling the house with furniture. That's different than doing actually design plans that your clients will shop for. Okay, so Cindy said the training and templates provided were invaluable. She's a commercial interior design since the 80s. She'd wanted to do Airbnbs, but she just didn't know how to connect, source residential, trade furniture, how to do it all and get it all shipped to a client. So we kind of walked her through that. So just a bunch of testimony. I've never really had anyone not love this training, but I also feature in my blog. I don't know how many of you guys have seen my story of Megan. Megan actually took my training, and within 6 months, she was paying herself over 6 figures, and she was doing these kind of level design plans using trade, which I'm going to show you how to do right now. And then she'd do the install in these higher level these were second homes in a mountain area. She kind of knew her area, did second homes. So again, kind of Airbnb, vacation rental time, but this is kind of second home, high level luxury. And that became her niche. So there's a lot of different ways to take this, but the board was kind of the way that incorporated in her process. But lately I've been teaching in the training, and there's some new technology now that lets me share this with people inside my training where you can combine trade product. How many of you know what trade wholesale product is? Hopefully. When you're a designer stager, you want to be able to go to High Point, Las Vegas market and actually buy things wholesale. You get it 50% off and then you can kind of resell it. And so stagers, yeah, so you are all very familiar with that. Great. There's kind of combination technologies that let you kind of shop trade for a client. So you're not just stuck with retail stuff that they can have delivered to their home. You can actually get trade stuff, white glove delivered to their home. So you're combining that with your concept boards so clients can actually shop direct using on-site door. What is on-site door? On-site door, there's a few of these. I call them conglomerate. They're shopping sites where you can actually shop hundreds of trade wholesale vendors in one spot. So you can see I'm in my on-site door account. If you're a designer stager, I show you in the training how to do this, where you can see they have 212, actually right now it's 240 Vendors like Four Hands, you'll recognize some of these. Noir, Alder and Tweed, Curry and Company, Dovetail. Do you recognize some of these vendors? Any of you? Yes. Anyway, you can search all of them at once and you can start creating collections inside Door. So we then started doing that, and I'll show you what that means. So this is what looks like a side door collection. We're putting together the board, and each one of these products, this is what it looks like inside Door. Let's say this is Gina's living room. It'll tell you the designer price and the retail price. So the retail price is really what a client would get it anywhere. So if they were to shop for, let's say, this coffee table, it would be retail 1785, but really the wholesale price is 1,000. And so the difference is what you would make as the designer if they were going to shop that on your website. So same thing with the pillows. So for each product, there's two different prices. It's almost like you've become the furniture retail store. So doing the financial math, you can focus on doing the design plan for a client. Design plan for, 499, 199, 499 concept. I'm going to shop not just retail, but also wholesale for the client. You link trade items to your side door account. The client pays retail, they can just shop direct. And if it was that particular living room, Gina's cost, you know, for the client's cost would be close to 9,500. The wholesale cost is 58. The designer net on that one would have been 3,700 if they shopped for everything. Does this make sense to you guys? I'm hoping it does in the chat. I'm explaining kind of the difference. I have a blog post. I'm going to send you a link to it in the follow-up email after this where you can kind of see. I show a video of how it works, but how, that's a low-level living room plan. But when I talk trade, we can do high-level luxury furnishings. Yeah, where you can make thousands on one room plan and, just create it and go, or create it, have them okay it, and you can do the install. Uh, so here you go, payment. This is for that design board. Oh, save your questions, you guys. I'm going to answer them at the end because it's so easy for me to get distracted. Let me go through this. I have a lot to go through with you. Um, but I'll get to the questions at the end because I can see you have it. So in this design board that we created, because now we started then creating trade boards. So this trade board with trade product, the retail, because it's a luxury living room for the client would have been 20,000, the designer price 14, the profit at that point would have been 6,000. This one, it's not as luxury, retail 14, designer price 9,700, they're making 4,000. And this is if they're just shopping direct. Now, if you're doing it, it's a whole different ball game, but you could actually do it where they just shop direct, white glove. So now financially doing the math, if they were to do two premium designs, they're not just getting your time paid for, you're also making money on the mix of whatever they purchased. So again, you're not trading time for dollars, you're actually making money on what they purchased, like a furniture store. So that board, those two boards, turned out to be 4,200 per week or 210,000 a year for now 5 hours of work because you're just doing two boards, let's say. I'm just hypothetically. So here's another example of a beach house living room board we did. The total cost on that, 9,000. What we did was we built the collections inside Door. We created the board and design files and we linked it to my collection so that they can go direct. But what's cool now is what we did is now you can get my collection. So we started now conglomerating all these collections in my side door account so that when you sign up for a side door account, you go, "Ooh, I want that collection. I love what Audra's done." You click on, here I am inside door. You say, copy this collection. You actually get the collection in your own side door with your own link. So it's not me making money on your product. It's you getting all the work that we've put together at creating these boards and you get all the links. So again, it's your huge time saver. Side door is not, these are two separate companies. Great question, Julie. She said, "Is Side door?" It's not my product. It's just that you can only get these instant collections inside your side door by going through the training. So we use these technologies to help designers save time and created these design boards. So here's a couple that we created, and you can see We've made them a little bit different. You can tell it's higher end furniture. This is not the retail furniture. So we have a lot of the retail stuff. And now we've started to do a lot of the trade stuff for our designers. They can, and you can swap out product, you can change it up. But now you have these beautiful starting boards. And I even have a blog post on my blog that talks about how easy it is for you just to take the imagery that we have for you in the training and say to a client, well, are we on the right track? So all you're doing is copying that into your own account. So again, huge time saver. We started creating some of those. So it's repeat business for other rooms in the home you could get. You A lot of my stagers, you could pivot staging to more design using an easy upsell email. You're shopping to the trade. So clients are now just, they're not just getting retail stuff. Now they're getting trade product. It's an easy upsell after color. When I do my color presentation, I have a color training. And I always tell my color consultants who like to dip their toe into color first that doing a design board is a very easy upsell. Let me do this living room. I have some great ideas. Let's do a design plan for you. Here's the cost. I'm going to mix trade and retail, and you can just shop direct, or I can do the full install if you'd like. So it's just a really easy design sell. Clients can order direct. So this is the thing I like about Side Door. Now there are other conglomerate trade product shopping areas. Many of you said you shop to the trade. Now you can open up each one of those trade accounts to Four Hands independently, Classic Home. You can go into, but do you really want to manage 100 different trade accounts with 100 different vendors, or even just 50? Because they add up. How many of you are designers and you've opened up at least 15 different trade accounts with individual vendors? Anybody? I'll be curious. My longtime event, that's not hard to get there. If you're a longtime designer stager, you would get to probably 15 the moment you went to High Point or Las Vegas Market. Yes. Now, you're not getting as deep a trade discount by selling on Side Door. That is true. But the thing that Side Door does is it ships to residential. It doesn't require you, like most direct accounts, wholesale accounts require you to have a commercial space that they'll ship to. And they never ship residential. So that's what kind of makes it special. Hopefully you guys are connecting that. That's why we started doing this, so that now people can have that option. If they have clients that want to shop direct, away they go. So the client can direct order, they can receive it white glove all at one time at their residence. So it's a very simplified design and quick styling day. The designer can order, or the designer can also order it themselves and do the install. So it kind of can go both ways. You decide. That's what's so exciting. And that is the key. Your easiest client to acquire is the one sitting right in front of you and already knows, likes, and trusts you. So by doing that design board, you're building that trust. And then it's very easy to go, let's do your master bedroom. How about we do a dining room? So what a lot of you are thinking, well, okay, Audra, I get this kind of, but why would my clients want to do this? How does this benefit them? Were any of you guys thinking that? Me? Because here's the challenge that we have as designers. We're creative, right? Designers, stagers, people who, even if you're just interested in design, we are more creatives. We don't always think on the business side of, okay, how do I sell this? Why is this unique to a client? Okay. And that's where we got to be really keen on how this benefits them. Basically, they can visually see the design plan, because anytime they are going to shop direct, your clients are already shopping for furnishings directly online, but they don't put it together in a plan. So they actually get to see it. They get to see how furnishings relate to one another. They're not there before committing to these purchases. And I always like to say a picture is worth 1,000 words. That's why I always show you, here's the design plan. Here's the room that designer actually did. And you can see how it's not that far different. But it also keeps clients from making costly design mistakes. How many of you in the chat have worked with a client that has kind of eclectic design taste? They want Scandinavian, they want traditional, they want mid-century, and they're just buying, and none of those pieces are going to go well with each other. Go ahead in the chat and put me. Yeah, we all have. Putting it together in the design plan and having them pay for that and visually see it first. Yeah, somebody said always. Yes, always. You know, if you don't, I was just on, this is a side note. If you think that the average everyday person, you are not the average everyday person. You are the person that loves design. There's less than 10% of the people in the world have that passion and talent and love. So you already have that, but the other 90% does not. And if you don't believe me, go to realtor.com and start looking at homes. I should say not staged homes, but actually I was looking at I was looking at product on Wayfair and how people would showcase their product in their rooms. They upload their room pictures, and it's rare, very rarely the a do I see a really beautiful room with any product on Wayfair. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, people really need your help." Anyway, keeps them from making those costly mistakes. It lets them actually phase their design budget. In that previous photo, the beach house, there was that chandelier is a Regina Andrew $2,000 plus chandelier. It's spectacular. The client can buy everything around that room and then later be like, later when I have the money, I'm going to get that chandelier. So they can actually phase it themselves. And it keeps them to that design style that works. It allows them to have items to scale because you have the dimensions of each product, so they can look at that. You can even do a floor plan for them. But it also, what I love, everybody wants to have a beautifully designed room. So it really does fit even the smallest of budgets. It starts with what they own and it expands from there. You can easily just do that. And clients can't really shop you necessarily. A lot of designers are frustrated because they get shopped when they are doing the full install. When they show the product, they show what they want to do, and the client's just shopping themselves. And the reason why they can't necessarily shop you, the design plan, number one, they've already paid for because they paid for your time. And the reason why you don't necessarily have them shop them is that you can actually save them money going through you because you can give them a coupon code. If you're willing to eat into your wholesale profits, you can actually credit them a portion of your trade income. So they're actually getting less than retail. And that is a huge selling point that some of my designers use, but you don't really have to, because you don't need to pass that along if you don't want to, but you also can if you're worried about getting shopping. So they actually save money by choosing you on the product. But more importantly, it minimizes sourcing overwhelm. People get analysis paralysis. How many of you agree that everywhere you turn online, there's a new, gorgeous, wonderful shopping vendor that you can't wait to shop? Anybody? All the time. Everywhere I go. On my Instagram feed, boom, 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 boom. Obviously it knows I love to shop. And there's always something new and wonderful. And that's why I said there's like hundreds, thousands of wonderful vendors out there and people selling really wonderful things. It saves them time when you're the expert putting it all together and it avoids that whelm. And they save and if you keep it as very simple and you're not doing the whole procuring, shopping direct, saving and doing the install, if you want to keep it very simple as a service, which a lot of my designers do, they want to shorten their client lifespan. They want to keep it as a service that the clients just shop direct. It removes kind of the admin and it keeps you kind of in your sweet spot because your sweet spot is really doing the design. But the key to marketing success is really communicating this value. This is how it really benefits them. And we put those benefits in a bonus that we put inside our expertise design training. This is what it looks like. This is inside the training. It's a Canva template. So how many of you are familiar with Canva on this line? Anyone familiar? Use Canva? Yeah, Canva's it's wonderful. Canva.com is a website, it's free to use, that helps you create pretty much anything under the sun. It has incredible AI now. So if you use AI, ChatGPT or Gemini, it'll help you create AI mood boards and like settings that you tell it what you want and it just creates it. So we create stuff in Canva and then we're allowed to share it with you in our training. So this is one of the many templates that we have. I have them in all my trainings where I can give it to you and you can change the color scheme, you can change the photos. Obviously, you're going to change the name of the business, and so we walk you through this is what your investment guide should look like. This is how you sell this type of service to your client. And it first talks about the benefits of e-design, and then it talks about the benefits of working with you. Of course, you're going to swap out your beautiful photo for mine. And we basically done all the work. Portfolio, you'd want to swap out the photos. We put why e-design is special, everything I just told you, how it benefits them, how they get access to trade product they otherwise would not have access to. Those hundreds of vendors, otherwise they don't get to have. Your process, your pricing, from premium to starter designs to additional services. So we have this for you. So you're not, again, not reinventing your price sheet. And we do this especially for those of you, how many of you are not designers or stagers and you just are on this workshop thinking, I love design. How do I dip my toe in it? Anybody go ahead and put that's me or yes, I'm just curious. So we do these things so that you're not reinventing. It's helping you kickstart your business right away. And this is, and if you are a designer stager and you're wondering how I sell this, you should have one of these investment guides. We even cover the frequently asked questions that your clients would have. And then, of course, the calls to action, where click to book your design package, click for a discovery call, and you're going to swap out your photos. Got to have those calls to action, you guys. Many uses. Okay, I'm going to go fast. If you're if you're a stager, please, every time you work with a client, take a screenshot of this, send them an email like this. Wonderful staging your home. I'd love to offer a design plan. Let's work with your beautiful furnishings. Let's dial it in for your new home. People are more inclined to spend on the home they're moving into. You're actually working with people that don't want to spend on their current home. Um, it is visually draw captivating. I told you that you can go from inspiration room. This is how we started out, to complete design plan, to product links. But you can also use these boards, and we do, to communicate a shopping list. We have like a staging essentials board that our stagers use, that they just, here, client, here's your bedroom, here's your kitchen accessories. I need you to buy these things. You just circle it. Or here's the easy light fixture updates I want you to do. Buy this one, and this one. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Or I have some of my stagers, they use it as sales funnels, which I'm going to explain when we talk about marketing on their website. There's so many different ways you can use the board to communicate. Your eDesign clients can easily view the boards because you get all the image. See these images? You've got them inside your account. Um, the presentations, design files, you just click a button and it'll say create a presentation, and it creates a presentation for you. I love it. Donna's so smart. She's like, I'm a realtor, one of your certified stagers. She does the staging. She wants to add e-design to her business. Yeah, this is why I created the e-design after the staging, because it's such an easy upsell. So this is on one of our stagers websites, one of my clients. She has this button, sign up for your free shopping list, right? Anyone comes to her website, they're going to get their free shopping list. She gets their email, and guess what she's doing? She's staying in touch. Vanessa Rhodes, very smart marketer. The e-design training was straightforward, easy to follow, so detailed. She put all these results because she took these boards, so she used it for sales funnels on her site within a weekend. It's a 3-day class, so she could do that so easily. Um, some of you might want to work with baby nurseries, do nursery boards. You know, Pregnant ladies, that is the one thing they are spending on, is that baby room and their nesting. And these cute little nurseries that we put together, they're so fun. Here's an example of one that one of my clients did. She actually put it in the 2D and design files. Here she did another project for a baby girl nursery. She took two of our nursery boards and sent it to the client just as is, and just the images, said, are we on the right track? What do you like? And then was able to kind of narrow down to a style that they liked. They had their own inspiration room, so she pulled product and was able to do the room for the client. And this is just her own photos, but it's kind of cute. And here's the room itself. Just kind of make it cute. I love this story. We do not have kitchen and bath boards in there because of tile. It's just not quite as visually captivating. Tile and countertop and whatnot, usually sourced locally. But I love this example of Happy Place Interiors. She's like, I'm working on a board. This was her design board for her bathroom, just to do a bathroom in her own house. And of course, one of the comments was, hey, I need you to do my bath. So again, it's very captivating. You just throw it out there on your social. People want it. I had another member, Vicky Coggin. Sure, she came. She was 21 years as a cabinet dealer, as it was a family business, and she added e-design to their family kind of cabinet business to do room designs for clients. And another one of my clients, how many of you live in kind of boutique areas, like coastal areas? She lives in kind of Maine or Vermont. A lot of artists, a lot of boutique furnishing stores. So even though a lot of these products were retail, she actually partnered with a lot of boutiques locally, a boutique lighting store, and she took one of our boards and just changed it up slightly, to offer more local boutique. So I kind of liked it. I like that everybody's using it in different ways. So there's a lot of different ways you can use these boards. We also have Christmas boards. Now we call these our shareable boards, meaning by all means, do this in a newsletter. How many of you, if you're a designer or stager, have a newsletter that you send to clients every month? That is a great way of actually marketing your service and getting business out. But a lot of times, who has time for that, right? But when you do that, that's why we're giving kind of people materials so that they have stuff. Here's a Christmas board or a gift list board, or here's a quick way for you to update a space board. And then we include the links to the product. And it's all in there for you guys. So we have these things like year round that you can take, send. So we actually have all your newsletter stuff. We have easy fall decor. Certainly, we have all the holidays covered. We have hot trends board. We have like spring update board, all that sort of stuff. We have outdoor update boards. There's so much fun stuff that you can do. Even I had a lot of my vacation rental people who took my vacation, how to do a vacation rental service. They eDesign was such a perfect partnership because they could take the board and they can send it to Airbnb property managers, investors, and say, I'm a Airbnb designer. This is kind of my design style. This is a design plan that we do for Airbnbs. All of this can be purchased because I get trade for less than you're buying at retail. How about we design your space? And so it was a very visual way for her to upsell their Airbnb design services. Deciding on a layout, even though a lot of our boards have an inspiration room, somebody asked, "Well, can we get rid of that?" Yeah, you just click and delete it. All these boards are very editable. Here's the layout that we did. We do kind of more for the trade boards. That's how you kind of know the difference between our retail boards and our trade boards. Here is another nursery board. It's beautiful. And you can see that was a girl nursery. Here's the boys nursery. I mean, who wouldn't? Bedroom boards. So you can see you can change out the layout. Originally, we loved the idea of an inspiration room with the color palette. Inside design files, they have every single Benjamin Moore and Sherwin-Williams color. So you're not reinventing that either, that you can put on there. Um, so when we talk, and I'm going to briefly go over this, technology choices, I used to have to really go into that because people did not understand technology, but sounds like most of you do. The problem and the mistake designers make is they think they have to do the full room builder, like what an architect does, versus the curated shopping board. And my argument is, you could use these room builders. Here's a few that you can quickly go back in the replay that I'm going to send you and pause and look. Some are free, some are paid. But the biggest thing is these take a long time. How many of you have done these full room builders? And can you attest to this? It takes a lot of time to put these together, because you're sketching it all out. And at the end of the day, they don't really need that. They need to see what they're getting. These are just some of the free cheap ones. Obviously, there's SketchUp. It's very time consuming. Your client doesn't necessarily need that, and you're not necessarily getting paid for all those hours. That's what I find my designers say. Oh my gosh, it took me like 20 hours and I charged not enough. And so that's why I'm trying to create a business model in this training where you're getting paid well for not having to work as much. And that's who doesn't want that, right? Uh, let the architects do that, right? Isn't that what architects are for? If they're knocking down walls, you don't want the liability on that. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. It's basically that's interior design. That's kind of architectural remodeling elevation software versus e-design packaging, concept boards. And the big mistake is just choose the program. Don't choose a program that's complicated and time consuming. Choose one, and the two big ones, the curated board ones, is MyDoma and Design Files. And each one lets you do client communication inside, lets you do client onboarding. They even have the client questionnaire. So you're not even doing it, which I kind of love. That you can organize your projects inside. The client can shop direct. They all offer this. They even have payment. So for those of you who don't even have a business, you're like, Audra, I want to dip my toe in design, but I have very little to spend. I can spend maybe on your training and the software, and that's it. I tell them, you don't even need to get a website then. Just use it for your website. Start really marketing on social media, and I'll show you how to market in just a bit using these visuals, and you'll be interested. It'll be interesting to see. It definitely grows because they all do all of that. Because at the end of the day, speed, cost, beauty, ease, and efficiency, you want to make it easy for you to do this, should be your primary drivers for picking e-design technology. It has to be profitable. How many of it? We're in this to make money, right? So MyDoma, and I have nothing against MyDoma. I actually approached MyDoma and design files with this business project. When we wanted to load up accounts with templates, when we wanted to save designers time, I approached both, and design files went for it. That's it. So that's why I like then design files I find is really, really easy to use. It's quite, I think it's a little more intuitive. I really like their mood boards. Um, People ask, well, how do you get your product? When you're searching product online, it's as easy as you have a browser tool. I don't know if you can see it there. I put the little arrow so you could see it. In the browser, if you like this chair, let's say, you click on it, this little window to the right pops up and it says, what project do you want to put this chair in? It's that easy. So shopping's very efficient. Does Because if you use Canva to create a mood board or PowerPoint, some people told me they did that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. So much more efficient. It automates the onboarding. It even has, this is cool because these are my two partners and I love them and they know they know me, so they got to know each other. Design Files actually added, this is inside Design Files. I don't know if you can see this video. It's very slowly loading, unfortunately, because a lot of you are on the line, but they actually partnered with On-Site Door. So if you have an On-Site Door account, which by the way is free, um, it actually, you can add it even within Design Files, which is kind of cool. So they partnered together. So it's that easy. You can build the packages in the software. So they're both good. I just find Design Files easier to use. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Kelly says that Design Files has tons of tutorials. But most importantly, when you sign up, if you go Design Files and you sign up for my training, you get my 100 plus templates. So that's the difference. Oh, here's an example. We did this really quickly, so bear with us, but this was one of our offices that we put into a 2D. Let's say you had a client. This is kind of what their 2D's gotten better since we did this. But it easily shows the client how to style their shelves, right? Do they need it perfect? No, this isn't virtual staging. This is, how do you do your shelves? Where do I want the furniture that I'm recommending for you to go? Because when in doubt, you got to keep your business simple. Can we all agree on that? You got to make money, keep it simple. All right, let's talk about marketing. Marketing this service, you got to be clear on the client benefits. I walked you through all the benefits, and all the benefits are actually in the investment guide that I give you. It is a visual plan for the space, it's an organized budget. You pay for design, you're not paying for the schlepping. Here's one of the GIFs that we have in our training in Canva. We have a lot of Canva stuff that we give you, Facebook ads, GIFs like this, where you can use it as a Facebook ad or Instagram ad for your visuals. Capitalize on the visuals. When somebody goes through my training, they have 100 plus of those boards, visuals, photos. They're not handing out the presentations willy-nilly, but they have all the visuals that they can share on their social media. 100 plus visuals means you could share that board on your socials in different ways or talk about it 100 different times throughout the year. So it's blog inspiration. You could talk color, you could talk trends, you could talk holidays, you can talk trade product that you love. I mean, there's so much that we can talk about and share. And then you do what's called funneling it. How many of you do not know what a funnel is in business? Anyone? Um, when I call it a funnel, it's just called a sales funnel. Now I call it an hourglass because you're going to bring them in, someone who doesn't know you, but they're going to slowly know you, trust you, love you, and then they're going to want more of you. Good. So we have a lot of boards that help you create that automated campaign. I showed you that we have the emails and all that. It starts with that juicy giveaway. You got to give them a reason to give you their email. And then you follow up with more email advice. And you can automate all of it. I show you how to do that in the training. Like I said, I even give you the emails. And you always close in your emails. If you need help building out that design plan, I'd love to talk. I'd love to help you. Click here to schedule a free discovery call. So you keep creating, you stay in contact, you use all the visuals, just like Vanessa did. And you have those on pages on your site and you drive people to the site. So here's kind of what it looks like. Might have a Facebook ad, Instagram ad, targeting people who are going through a remodel that make 150,000 a year. Now, Instagram, Facebook, I would always recommend, because it's a little bit complicated, going to Fiverr and paying someone $50 to set that up for you. Someone who knows. That's what I do. But you have that giveaway. So you're not selling your business on Instagram and Facebook. You're giving them an awesome giveaway. And any one of these, we have several boards as shareable sales funnels. We have a Mother's Day gift list if it's Mother's Day type of year, if you want a Mother's Day, or example of my favorite vendors. Here's a board with an example of all my favorite vendors and links to them. Like, who wouldn't want that? And then you have a weekly email talking about each email, the benefits of doing a design plan, seeing it ahead of time, all of that. And that's how you build relationship. So here's that example, Mother's Day gift list that we just give to people, and we update, every year, and the Thanksgiving one and the Christmas one, so that you can easily share it to your audience or grow an audience by sharing it. We even have like a design cheat sheet in the training as well. So you can even do an ad for that if you want a free design cheat sheet. Um, and of course, we have the follow-up emails for you to just copy and paste. But it's all there. And then we also have a budget builder for your clients. So they have all those things. You can use all different things. Here's an example of social media posts, where you have this design board. It's almost summer and you can share. Or, here's another summer one, very similar. So I'm just giving you examples. It's not hard to market because it's very visual, more visual than other things. The smart designer understands it's really, really about relationship, seeks to obtain that email address so they can nurture that relationship. And the designer knows that over time, they're going to have a fan. That fan may never be a client, but will always refer people, even the designer's way. So here is, I don't know if you could see this GIF, yeah. Right now it's 100 boards, I told you, at least, and growing. We've lost count. And it's a mix. As you know, living room boards, 20 bedrooms, nurseries, dining rooms, offices, and 15 plus specialty projects, which are your sales funnels. I didn't know there was 15 plus. That's a lot that you can give away. How many of you learned something in this 1 hour with me? I know this is a more technical training for people, and sometimes they're thinking, how can I incorporate this in my business? Did you learn something in this 1 hour with me? Good, I love it. You guys are sweet. Yeah. I always say, imagine 3 days with me. Because I know I can say, I try and put a lot into the hour, but I really detail kind of exactly how I would recommend you process this, you introduce it, you market it, you price it, how you shop it, how you would shop the board and then incorporate your side door collections and this collections that we give you. That is in the 3-day training. Oh, I'm glad. Kelly says she has more clarity on the tote. A lot of people don't realize that. You can either look at a blank design files account, especially if you're already using design files. To me, this is a kind of a no-brainer. At less than $7 a board that took us hours to create, you're getting it. You're getting lots, and that's the beauty of it. We're all saving time. You could take out the inspiration room, swap out a couple pieces, and no one's the wiser. And that's the beauty of it. Melissa asked, how many hours is the 3-day training? It's usually about 4 to 6 hours, probably at least that, because I include bonuses and I've slowly kind of included additions, but it's really about you incorporating it into your business as you do it. Ultimately, the big part of this training is those templates. That's really what you're paying for. And then also the walkthrough of how you incorporate it in the automation portion of it. Yes, Michelle, I will send you a replay of this as soon as we get it up, usually tomorrow morning, because I get it. A lot of people need to pause and go, how do we do this? How can I even share the Canvas stuff that we give you in the training. A lot of people said, oh, I looked at your things and I created it. Well, it probably took you hours to create that. What's your time worth when we're giving it to you? I love it. I have a lot of designers who take my training. I have a lot of people who are newbies who take my training. Thank you, Yolanda. Yolanda in the chat room, and I did not pay her to say this, said, don't be on the fence, just do it. It'll enhance your business. Take the leap. I did. Thanks, Yolanda. You're so sweet. Oh my gosh, thank you, Amanda. She took the course too, and just tons of info, tons of inspiration. The boards are inspiring. Every time I go into the Design Files account, even though I've seen them all, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I don't remember that dining room. It's spectacular. Um, of course, Kay, if you have a question about the staging course, just email me. Yes, you can see it again. I'll send you this replay. I love it. Pam's like, your e-design course was a game changer. I have wanted to implement it. So many of the things you talk about. I had no idea how to do it. I love all the video and materials you gave us. Um, now I know exactly how to automate my sales funnels. And this is a problem that a lot of designers, they introduce a service, they don't automate a funnel to it. And I recommend that you do that. So thank you guys. Oh, thank you guys. You guys were wonderful. I so appreciate you. Great. I kept it to an hour. The training is at your own pace. There are videos at your own pace. There's tons of support. Anytime you have a question, I'm here for you. If you have a question after this workshop, you're going to get an email from me. Email me back. Those emails come straight to me. I'm here for you. Any question that you need, we are here. You get lots of support and you're going to love it. It's a great way to start design or add design to your staging business. But more importantly, you're getting all these visuals and this presentation. Stay tuned. Like I said, I've got a great blog where I'm going to show you how someone created the best presentation I've ever seen for her Airbnb clients. And I'm going to show you a glimpse of it in my blog. And then I actually added it to the vacation rental training on what she did. And I will send you the recording of this tomorrow when we get it up. We have to process it. Thanks, you guys. Cheers and have a wonderful, wonderful night.